So guys, today's roundtable, we're going to be doing it a little bit differently. And if this goes well, which I believe it will, I have high faith that it will go well. We'll probably be doing this the beginning of every month. Okay, so this will be like a monthly thing. It'll be like the first roundtable of the month. All right. Hey, Lily. Hey, Vanessa.
Huh? What'd you say?
Said hey.
Hey.
Cool, guys. So this roundtable again is going to be a little bit different than what we normally do. And if it is successful, which I highly believe it is, we're going to do this the beginning of every single month. Normally with these roundtables, we talk about biggest wins, biggest obstacles, and then like a learning topic. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to go around the circle like we normally do. We're going to talk about biggest wins, and then we're going to all dive a little bit deeper into our obstacles today, as opposed to, not that we don't in other roundtables, but we're going to just go into it a little bit more in depth today. So, Naira, we will start with you. What has been your biggest win so far this week?
Oh, okay. So when I first started working with EditYourBody, I could do like the girly push-ups, and I could do like 1 and 2, and then this week I managed to do like 15 straight, and then like with no pauses, no nothing, and then I managed to push myself a bit more and do like 22 or 23, and I was super proud of myself because, you know, I started with like 3, like less than like 2 months ago, you know, less than 2 months. So yeah, that was my biggest win.
Huge. Awesome. How's it feel? How's it feel to like actually know you're getting stronger throughout the process?
It's like, wow, it's actually working. I'm like, wait, those are my arms, those are my shoulders. No, come on. So no, it feels really good. It feels great. I think I was telling you during the week at some point, I was like, I look at myself and like, nah, that can't be me. So no, it feels good.
That's awesome. Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Keep it up. Stephanie, what's been your biggest win so far this week?
My biggest win, I'd say, is, I feel like I've had a few, but today I definitely noticed like a difference in my body. And I've been told by other people now. So I think that was like a big win for me because, you know, you look at the scale and you're like, it's not moving. I mean, slightly, but, you know, then you look at how your body looks and you're like, okay, I see the changes. So that makes a huge difference.
Yeah. It's hard for us to see our own progress sometimes.
Yeah.
So especially like, you know, you see yourself in the mirror every day.
Yeah.
So it's hard. Say it again.
No, I was gonna say, and then the pictures, as much as I hate them, I'm starting to see the changes. Yeah.
Pictures are so crucial, guys. Like when I first started my business, I'd be like, oh, it's okay. Like you don't have to take pictures, or we can take them at a different time. And then like they make this huge transformation, and then they say, oh man, I wish I would have taken pictures in the beginning. So I like never made that mistake ever since that. And as like Stephanie said, as uncomfortable as it might be, it's super imperative to your progress and seeing your progress. Because sometimes like you could literally see the scale move down and your inches move down and not see it and not feel a difference. But then when you actually like put them side by side, you're like, wow, okay, I can see the difference in the work that I've been doing. So awesome. Congrats, Stephanie.
Thanks.
Jules, what's been your biggest win this week?
My biggest win is having to get rid of a lot of clothes, like basically most of like a huge chunk of my clothes because I didn't fit into it anymore. So I feel like that's a really big win for me.
Awesome. You're officially 30 pounds down or more?
Yeah, 30.
Awesome. Congratulations. Yeah. Good job.
Thanks.
Sarah, I know you can't hop in, but you could just, actually Sarah told me her biggest win and she texted to me, so I'll say it out loud. But Lola and Vanessa, so it's you guys' first week. So this is going to be, you know, some of these are going to apply right away. Some of them are not. But what would you guys say has been your biggest win so far this week?
I'm gonna go first. I never like ate breakfast before, really, and now like every single day I have breakfast at 7 in the morning or like 7:30. So I say that's a pretty good big win for me.
Awesome. What about you?
My big win, I guess, is actually doing my workouts, even though I'm a little sick, and
Yeah.
actually getting through them, struggling, because being sore and being sick, oh, it's a horrible feeling. Horrible
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah, it's tough.
So that's
Um,
my big win, is because I survived it. So
yeah. And it's only uphill from here. So like it's usually the first, if you haven't been training or training consistently in a while, it's usually the first week or two where you feel like what did I get myself into? And then your body's like kind of very sore, right? But water, first of all, guys, if you're not drinking tons of water, like water and sleep, the things I talk about all the time, water and sleep. If you're not drinking it, like that's how you're gonna recover fastest. And then so that's number one. And then number two, the more you do it, the stronger you're gonna get, which in turn will help you to not be as sore. So yeah. So great job. Cool. And then I'm gonna read Sarah's, because Sarah said she was not gonna be able to make it in here, but she actually is in here. So let's give Sarah a round of applause for that. But Sarah says her biggest wins that she's been able to stay up on her steps, her macros, and focusing on meditation and gratitude in the morning and midday. I have an even better state of mind and heart. I guess you can say my win this week has been working on me as a whole and not just a targeted area. Cool. Thank you for sharing, Sarah. And I'm gonna, and then guys, so like, you know, usually with these roundtables before the actual lesson, we talk about biggest wins and then biggest obstacles. So it's gonna be very similar, okay? But today I wanna dive deep in with you and talk about like where you feel you are struggling. And we're gonna tackle that together. So Naira, let's start with you.
My biggest obstacle this weekend, it's a relatively small one compared to some of the others.
Well, not this week. So let's say just like as a whole, in general, like where do you feel like you're struggling?
Oh my gosh, how long have we got?
Oh man, never mind. Next person.
No, I think my biggest struggle is, gosh, that's a bit of a tough one. Actually, I think during the course, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Sorry.
During the course of like, you know, the couple of months and stuff that I've been with you now, it's been quite challenging. So initially it was like actually trying to eat and the food. I remember at some point I was saying to you, like, I don't have enough food and things. And then my sleep has been my consistent struggle throughout the whole process. So that's something I found pretty hard. I enjoy the workouts and the cardio and things. Getting used to drinking more water, that's also been a bit of a challenge. I think my biggest overall struggle is it's a toss-up between the food and getting the macros in and my sleep, and I don't know which is less or more damaging. So maybe I guess actually when I think about it, the biggest struggle is that balance of that kind of, you know, not quite trifecta, but you know, the working out, the food, sleep, drinking water, and then you added the meditation stuff. And I was like, dude, I'm struggling with 4.
Yeah, just throwing it all on you guys' plate.
Yeah, so I think that balance has been pretty hard. Sometimes I might manage to hit it right on. Other times, as soon as one goes out, everything else kind of, the whole whack is out of system.
Yeah. How have you been with since we started talking about it last week, with like meditation and like gratitude?
Not too great, just because like first thing in the morning, it's been different. Like I've got family in the UK and stuff, and so when I first wake up, the first thing I do is check everything with my family in the UK, because it's like an 8-hour time difference. So that's like, as soon as I wake up, it's right in my mind, and then after that I can maybe do something, but my mind's already like buzzing by that stage. especially this week because people have got COVID and things like that. And it's like, okay. So
So I'm gonna rewind. I'm gonna touch back on that. How many times have you used the reverse? Have you tried the reverse alarm clock? And
I've
actually
tried.
used it
No,
this
this is
week?
the thing. Actually, I've tried it consistently almost every day, but sticking with it has been actually like I might even do it for like an hour. And then actually, I think 3 times this week, it just as I'm getting into bed, like my phone will go because I've got it on Do Not Disturb. But if it's like family, it comes through, right? So so then it's in then my phone rings. So that's happened 3 times this week. So that then has been difficult.
From those 3 times,
Mm-hmm.
how many of them have been an absolute emergency?
Yeah, there've been emergencies. I've only got it for family coming through. Otherwise, I don't answer or message any other phone calls.
All 3 times they were like extreme emergencies.
Yeah, well, I've got family members with COVID, and they got
Yeah.
like this week.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Oliver. Sorry. Thank you. So yeah, that's why this week has been a bit tougher than usual.
Yeah. Cool if I coach you for a little bit.
Go ahead. I'm a bit scared about what you might say, but you know, crack on.
So I'm gonna give you a pass for this week with the sleep, right?
Okay.
But it's kind of been an ongoing thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it was just this week where like it just so happened, then I would be like, all right, cool, like shit happened, like let's move on. But it's been since we started, and I feel like it's been on a roller coaster where some days have been great.
Yeah.
Or some weeks have been great, and some weeks have been like, I'm not getting any sleep.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how you're functioning, to be honest with you. Like,
I don't think I am. I think that's the point. I definitely am
that's
not.
the thing. Imagine. So, and you actually just said that a second ago. Like, you feel like you're kind of scattered, right? Like it's one thing after another. It's hard to manage your training, your nutrition, your cardio, your sleep, now meditation, and now this, right? But it's gonna start with your sleep, right? And you know, you guys could agree with me or disagree with me, but I'm a firm believer in like there's gonna be times where like life is gonna be way busier and you're gonna have to make some crazy sacrifices, right? Whether it's gonna be like your health, like in your health, your wealth, or like your personal life, right? But if you could like, and there's gonna be times where like I'm only gonna be able to get 4 hours of sleep in this next week and a half because I need to finish a project or whatever it is. But you're not sticking to it. Like when it's all said and done, like I'm saying all that to say, like just the short of it is like, and Vanessa and Lily, I'll explain to you guys what the reverse alarm clock is, but like you're just not sticking to it, you know, plain and simple. You're just not sticking to it. And so guys, just really quick lesson, like reverse alarm clock is basically setting an alarm clock an hour before bed, and then just no electronics, nothing to get you prepared for the next day. And I'm not saying that to get you away from, you know, talking to your friends or anything on social media, but like that's gonna affect your sleep. Your sleep is gonna affect your morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like as you just mentioned, right? So like your sleep now is affecting your morning, right? You're on minimal sleep, and now first thing you're like, I'm worried about family. But like in all actuality, you have 15 minutes, right? You have 10 minutes
No,
to meditate.
right, I do. I definitely do have the 15 minutes, but it's the 15 minutes after I've checked, and I'm just like,
You have 15 minutes before.
yeah, it's my thing. It's my own thing. That as soon as I have a thing, I want to look at it straight away.
I think everyone's like that right now, right? It's like it's just the social media era and time we live in. But like, if you don't master, especially where you're at right now, like if you don't master your morning, like yeah, you might be getting away with it right now, but like 3 months from now, 2 months from now, 2 weeks from now, 6 months from now, you don't know when, but like you're just gonna feel extremely overwhelmed. You're gonna get a ton of anxiety, and everything's gonna like kind of come crashing down. You're like, I don't know what's wrong. Like I can't control my life.
You're right.
And I've been there. Like I remember when I first was really consistent with working out. I was working a retail job, so like I was working all different hours, right? So sometimes I'd be working like 6 to 3, sometimes I'd be working like 10 to 7, 12 to 9, 2 to 11, like crazy shifts, right? And then when I was like doing it, and I was like, for me, I just put my mind where I was like, I'm not gonna miss a workout. I'm not gonna miss cardio sessions ever. There's no way I'm gonna do it. So I would like push it off, and I'm gonna work out when I can. I'm gonna prepare food when I can, and like it never failed, right? Had I had a morning routine or something, life would have been way different. But like if you're just kind of going by when it happens, like it's gonna work for a while. Like there's been people that have hopped on this program or other programs, and just because they thought, just because like, hey, and now I'm on a program, like everything's gonna be good. Like no, like you still have to make time for yourself. So, you know, as much as I know you love your family, you have to be taking care of yourself as well. Because if you don't take care of yourself, now your family's gonna be calling you for another reason, right?
Yeah,
It's gonna be for you.
No, that's totally true.
So yeah, you really have to start implementing that reverse alarm clock. And like, it's the hardest thing in the world. The reverse alarm clock is the hardest thing in the world, and waking up first thing in the morning and not looking at your phone, if you're used to that, can be the hardest things in the world. But like, and you don't have to answer this, but how many times through this last week have you opened that first thing in the morning and like it's just giving you extreme anxiety? Like, or just like you feel like, oh my gosh, what can I do to help them? What can I do? So it's just like, it becomes one thing after another, right?
It definitely does.
Huh?
No, I was just thinking, like, you're totally right about like the reverse alarm clock and, giving myself time in the mornings being the hardest thing. So I was thinking, you could give me another 10 cardio sessions, another 10 workouts, and completely move my nutrition, everything around, and I could cope with that. But the sleeping stuff and all of that, that is something that is, I was like, actually, yes, that is the hardest thing in the world for me.
Yeah. I don't want to. So we know what we need to do. I'm just going to kind of leave you with this part of it. This is for everybody. Like, if you ever look up or like research like the most successful like business people in the world, like they master their mornings. Like everything is done in the morning, right? Like they have their alone time. They plan out their day, or their day is already planned out. They give themselves some time before they actually have to do everything, because like the world's crazy right now, especially. So like if you don't do that, it's gonna eventually affect you. So reverse alarm clock, that's your homework.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Stephanie, you're up. Where are you struggling?
My biggest struggle was definitely my biggest fear. My old injuries flaring up. Yesterday, I just couldn't even be mobile. And usually I don't let, well, lately I haven't let the pain get to me, but this week was definitely a struggle. To the point that I did have to take my meds that I don't like to take to help with the pain, and even those aren't helping. So I think that's my biggest struggle, but I went to Costco today, so I'm feeling a little better.
Costco
that was
always makes people feel better.
Huh?
Costco and Target always make people feel better.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe they're giving samples right now. I was like, why do you even want samples right now? I don't know. And there was like so many people, and I was just like, this is why I haven't gone to Costco. It's actually the first time I've gone to Costco since
free
the
food.
pandemic.
That's why.
Yeah, but they had like samples of ranch, and I'm like, I don't know. They weren't even good.
So when it comes to like a nagging injury or something, if something hurts, like just stop right away. There's a difference between like soreness, right?
Yeah.
And like a shooting pain or a tingling or something. So if it's something like that, especially if it's like a previous injury, stop first and then discuss what it is.
And I think that's the hard part, because a lot of times with my injury, I won't feel the pain in the moment. until it flares up. And so like, for instance, now it's like, it's a pain if I do anything. But anytime I feel discomfort when I'm working out, yeah, I'll stop. Like I mentioned to you, I didn't do the push-ups the other day, but I tried to like compromise by doing something else.
Yeah. And it's a shooting pain down your arm.
Yeah. And it's gone to like, I know it's been affecting my hand, which I think is actually from work. But it also stems from my shoulder. And then I have like a burning on my shoulder blade. And I haven't had that in like a year. So
Have you gone to I'm assuming you've gone to physical therapy for this before?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I did it for a while.
What exercises did they have you doing?
Similar stuff to what you have me doing with the band. And then they had me doing, I'm trying to remember what else. It's been like a year, half a year since I've gone. So trying to remember what else they had me doing. These like wall slides, I think they're called.
Yeah. You have a band, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna send you so continue doing the wall slides.
Okay.
And I'm gonna send you like one or two other like warm-ups.
Okay.
Warm-ups / like for you actually, I want you to do it. We'll start with 2 times a day every day.
Okay.
Okay. And I know it's like, oh my gosh, one more thing, but it's
all right.
It's one thing we need to tackle now before it gets worse. Right?
Yeah. The other thing they had me do was shoulder shrugs. I was forgetting the names. I know what they look like, but shoulder shrugs.
I'm gonna send you 2 things to do with a band that's gonna help you to get out of that. Will hopefully help you. Worst case scenario, it's gonna give you more like shoulder mobility. It sounds like something is tight or restricting, and that's probably what's affecting. Like, I'm not a physical therapist by any means, but like just based off of my experience, like it's probably something tight here that's restricting you and making your body forced to move a certain way, and that's why it's tingling down your arm. So we'll do that. And you have to commit. Your homework is to commit to do that twice a day. So today's Friday. So you got twice to do it today. It's very easy. It's going to take you like 2.5 minutes, if that. So twice a day for 7 days straight. We're going to see how that feels.
Okay.
All right?
Sounds good.
Cool. Thank you. All right. Loli and Vanessa, you guys are in the fire. I know this is your first week. But I still want you to kind of talk to me about where you guys feel like you are struggling right
now. Personally, I skip some of like the food, so like I won't eat all of the stuff on the lunch menu. Or like, like what you gave us for lunch. So then I'll notice by the end of the day, like my macros are like different from the ones you gave me. Like I don't have as much protein and like fats and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's probably my number one struggle. And the other thing was, well, this was just today, but I was doing the ab wheel thing you gave me.
Fun, huh?
And I was doing it, and that was probably my most difficult workout you have given me so far. And I fell in front of a couple of people, and it was kind of embarrassing, but it was okay.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, I was okay. It's just I fell in front of like this one specific person. I was like, oh dang, that's embarrassing. But yeah.
It happens. I've been going to the gym for years, and I still I've been going like over 10 years, and I still make mistakes and trip and stuff. So like totally normal. As far as macros, so like it's only your first week, so you're going to learn more about that for this coming week. So don't worry about that. You're gonna learn. Actually, I'm gonna be sending you both a video tomorrow morning. Today's Friday, right? I'm gonna be sending you guys both a video tomorrow morning. It's gonna teach you. It's gonna start teaching you how to make adjustments in your plan, and how to like, okay, well, if I don't want this, can I replace it with a protein shake or a different type of food? You're gonna start to learn and understand that, so that way you can implement that into your day. So like the first week, maybe 2 weeks is kind of just like kind of getting used to it and then building into it. But you're already 5 days in and you're still here, so you're gonna be totally fine. All right. And then with the ab wheel, again, don't worry about that stuff. Next time, maybe just go out to as far as you can to where you feel like before you're gonna fall, and then come back.
Yeah.
And then by doing that, you'll be stronger in that range of motion, and then you'll eventually be stronger in the longer range of motion.
Okay.
All right, your turn. Loli, right?
My struggles are adjusting to the food as well, like measuring and things like that. Not that I'm fine with eating, well, as long as it's not seafood stuff. And oatmeal's not my favorite, but
Yeah.
but I really don't like it.
The struggles, like, you want to eat it late at night.
Oh yeah. Well, late at night. Well, not late at night, but yeah, in the evening, like 8 o'clock, because we're eating dinner at 6. So like 8:30, 9. Want to grab a snack, and like what could we eat? Like there's got to be something that we can snack on. So
Yeah.
that's a struggle.
Yeah. How's your guys' water intake?
I drink a lot of water because I have classes in the morning, so I start pretty early, and I'll see a bunch of people drinking water, so I'll start drinking some water.
Okay.
Towards the evening, it probably goes a little down, like not as much, but I'll start working on that. But the thing my mom forgot to tell you, what we do, like if we're craving something, is I do it more than her, is I just pop a gum in my mouth, and I'll just start doing that, and then I'll get like rid of it.
That works. What about how's your water intake, Loli?
Okay, so this week hasn't been that good because when I'm sick, I just don't really drink that much water, which is kind of weird. But we both have those type of gallon waters. And normally I get close to drinking that gallon of water on a daily basis most of the time.
Yeah.
Some days I'm close, but for the most part, I'm really good at drinking water. Yeah. This week I haven't been because it's just, when I'm sick, it's really hard for me to drink a lot of water. I know I should, but it just doesn't work for me. Yeah. And then my other struggle is some of the exercises where I have to put my weight on my wrists, that's a struggle for me because I have carpal tunnel. Okay. And I had surgery for it. So I don't know if I have to build the strength of being able to hold my weight with push-ups and stuff like that. Like one of the exercises I had was the push-ups. You do a push-up and then you get your hand and put it. Well, I couldn't do the push-up. Yeah. But I still did it, and I extended my arm and stuff. So I'm not strong enough to do the push-ups yet, and I struggle putting the weight on my wrists. Yeah, you will be. So can you do me a favor and do you know how to navigate in the app and go back to like the previous day? Yeah. Okay. So what I want you to do. So what I want you, Vanessa will do it if so what I want you to do is send me a screenshot of the exercises that bother your wrist, and I'll find a substitute for them for you. And then we'll slowly, as we progress through the program, like you will get stronger and potentially be able to do that. But for now, like we don't, especially if it's something like that, like carpal tunnel or something nagging, we want to make sure that we're not it's not it's not always no pain, no gain, right? So and then regarding the nutrition, I think everybody in here can probably attest to it, but like first week is usually the toughest. It could be the toughest for one of two reasons. It could be the toughest because you're like, oh my gosh, this is so much food, how do I eat all this? Or it could be the toughest because what you just mentioned, like, at this time of night I get hungry. Something I do want to ask you before I forget, I know on the nutrition plan that I send out,
it has like certain times. Are you guys eating at those times?
Not lunch.
Okay.
Lunch
No
kind
worries.
of goes later.
Yeah.
I like my snack isn't at 10, it's at 11 because I go to the gym in between my classes. So that's like off for me. So that's why lunch is off also.
Yeah, totally fine. What I was gonna say is actually like there's no magical times to eat. What I was gonna say is you could actually, and it will be tough for the first day because your body has gotten adjusted, but you could spread your meals out a little bit longer, right? So if they're every like 2 hours right now, you could spread them out for every like 2.5 hours. And that way you're eating later in the day. You know, that half hour is added up over the 3 or 4 meals. You're eating later in the day, and that will help. Another thing that you guys can do is if you feel like one meal is very huge and like it's hard to finish all in one sitting, you can save like part of that meal for later on in the day. Because what's going to be most important is for you to get in the total. By the way, guys, that's a great tip. Also, if you are going out to eat dinner with somebody or a friend or something, and you just like, like, oh my gosh, I need to eat everything in front of me. Like you could put some of it away and finish it for later, and it'd be later in your day, and you're still hitting all your like. Don't feel like just because it's in front of you, you have to finish it. Like you could save some for later in the day, and you'll still be within your calories and macros. Thank you guys for sharing. Great job on almost finishing week 1 too. All right, Jules, you're up. Jules, where do you feel like, not just this last week, just in general, where do you feel like you are struggling?
With being consistent, for sure. I feel like I do a lot of self-sabotage and I make a lot of excuses for not being where I need to be. So I think that's the thing that I struggle with the most, that I've always struggled with, is just being consistent. Yeah.
What time are you working out now?
I don't really have a time that I've like designated to work out anymore. I used to, but I just stopped. I kind of let other things get in the way, and I did do my workout today though already.
Yeah.
So I feel like, once again, like you mentioned earlier, if I do it in the morning and I do everything like in the morning, it gets done, and I haven't been doing that. So
What was happening when you were on a schedule and you were, whether it's the morning or the evening, but when you had a schedule and you were staying consistent with it, what was happening?
well, I was just seeing results like consistently. Like consistency pays off. So I was definitely just dropping pounds and seeing more definition in my body when I was consistent.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So like Jules, like I don't want to take anything away from you because you're like 30 pounds down. You've put in a lot of work. You've made some huge lifestyle changes, and I want to like commend you for that and give yourself a pat on the back for that. Don't do it now because you're driving, but let me ask you, like, with what you're doing right now, as far as kind of continuing to just work out like when you can make time or find time and are a bit inconsistent, how much longer do you think you can do that before you crash and burn?
I don't know, and I don't want to find out.
Do you think you could go another 2 weeks?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't want to.
2 months?
No.
What do you
No.
what do you feel like is going to happen if let's say you go another 2 months doing this and like you're kind of just you're kind of just like, I'll work out when I do, like you're still working out but maybe not as consistent. Instead of like your normal 4 days, maybe you're working like 2 days and doing 3 days of cardio. What do you feel like is going to happen if you do that? Obviously the world won't end, but what do you feel like would happen with you?
I'll probably lose motivation, I think. The most important, aside from probably gaining a little weight, is just losing motivation because, yeah.
Why is it important for you to keep your motivation?
Because I feel like if I don't have motivation to do something, then I just won't do it. I just
But
won't.
like, why? I mean, what does that? I mean, what does that matter?
I think like intention, because I mean, I can go to work all day, but I mean, there are some days when I go to work and I'm just like, fuck, like I just don't want to be here. So I feel like that applies to motivation to do anything, like when you work out versus not working out. If you don't have the motivation to do it, it's kind of like, then why are you even doing it? Because you're not giving it
I
completely.
mean, let me
I haven't been
rephrase
giving
it.
it 100.
Sorry.
I haven't been giving it 100, and I feel like that's where I'm struggling.
But why is it? I mean, let me try and rephrase it. So, like, why is it important for you to stay motivated to work out? Like, why do you need to work out?
Because I just feel better, and I think it just radiates to everything that I do. Being a mom, being a wife, being, any like a person, I just feel better about everything that I do, and I feel good about myself. And the moment that I stop feeling good about myself, everything kind of just goes with it too.
Do you feel like you're at a, like, I don't think you are, but maybe you could answer me. Do you feel like you're at a point right now where it's affecting relationships with like significant other or children or friends or family or anything like that?
Maybe,
Right
yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Do you remember like why you signed up?
Yeah, because I wanted to look good.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're at a point like, so you're at a point in a transformation. A friend and I were just talking about it. Like, you're kind of at a point in your transformation where like you've put in tons of work, you've stayed consistent for an extremely long period of time, and you can kind of get away with stuff here and there. And I think you've been kind of like pushing the limit with that, right? Like you can get, and I've been there, you can get away. Once you've gone through a big transformation, you can get away with more than maybe like you were able to before, right? So like what you're doing now compared to what you were like when we started, there's no way you can do that. And like you wouldn't be in the right mind state to be like, I can continue pushing forward, or this is just a bump in the road, or even maybe you might have like gained more weight because like who knows like how your metabolism was at that point, right? But it's a very thin line. Like you're teetering this line where like I'm doing good. I'm doing like, okay, like if I gain 3 pounds, like I know how to lose these 3 pounds because like I understand my calories and macros and nutrition. And I know that I need to just like get back on a schedule. But it's a very, very thin line where you go from there to, I'm just gonna like skip on this. And then before you know it, like maybe these 2 or 3 pounds that you're fluctuating with are like more like 5 or 6 pounds. And then it's like slowly getting bigger. So what's like, I know your schedule is like very random. So like when are you gonna be planning your workouts?
In the morning for sure, because my schedule's never crazy enough to where I'm not able to do it in the morning. I just rather get more sleep sometimes, or I stayed up late the night before, so I haven't. But definitely morning time is when I need to go do my workouts. And cardio, I don't need to go as hard sometimes because my work, I move around a lot, so there's just no excuse. And I think the morning time is just when I need to just get it done and over with.
So you have two pieces of homework for you. All right. So one is going to be write down all your times of when you're going to be working out, and you're going to be sending it to me. And then number 2, sorry, I gotta put my battery in 1 second. So if you guys see me duck. But number 2 is these next 7 days with your cardio and your workouts, you're gonna be posting in the group, like done with my workout. Like, so whatever time that you are done with your workout, you're gonna, so like, let's say your workout time is whatever, 8 to 9 a.m. That's your, and whatever, you have an off day, or you're doing cardio on your off day, like once you're done with your workout, you're gonna post it in the group for more accountability. And everybody in here is gonna hold you to it, including myself.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Loli, Vanessa, Stephanie, Mina, Sarah, if you guys don't see Jules post, and I'm gonna tell you what times, if you guys don't see Jules post on these days, then you're gonna tag her and call her out.
Okay.
Is that cool? Are you okay
That's
with
cool.
that?
Deal.
All right. Well, I know you can handle it. That's why I gave it to
Okay.
you. All right. Thanks, Jules. 1 second, guys. I gotta plug in my battery. All right. Okay. Sarah, are you able to discuss what are you struggling with right now? Not just this last week, but just in general? No, no worries. Mina, so you missed the beginning part, but we're talking about not just this last week, we're talking about in general. Where do you feel like you're struggling in your fitness journey? You're muted. But
It's the
before we
mental
begin,
aspect.
I want you to share your biggest win this last. So
Biggest
share
win
share your biggest win this last week first.
Okay. Biggest win from this last week is I'm back to dropping weight again, which is cool. You know,
Yeah.
or more abstractly is doing better at nutrition. So that's better. Big win. My biggest struggle, that not just for last week or in general, I think my biggest struggle, and I've been, you know, for everybody else here who doesn't know me, I've been on the plan for probably about a year, and I made some really good progress, but I think I sabotaged myself mentally because I don't know, like I've never been as lean as I want to be. So I'm always like, I can't get there. This is the way I'm always going to be. I'm always going to be quote unquote buff. You know, you have muscles, but you have fat over it type of thing. And I think it's a self-sabotage because like if you have a bad day, or like you eat too much, you get stressed out, you're like, whatever. It's not really like I was gonna get there anyway. You know, so you don't like, yeah, it doesn't feel real sometimes.
Yeah. It's it can be an intimidating thing to like step into that newer version of you. So like in your guys's, just like think of it as like work, right? Like in work, you're always gonna have like there's this level, there's this level, there's this level, and with every level, there's gonna be different obstacles and whatnot. So like where you're at right now, like you've made some huge changes, not only like physically, but you made some huge changes to like like bro, you were doing 40 to 50,000 steps a day. You were training like 6 to 7 days a week. Like you were killing yourself. You didn't have like the social aspect of it. Like it was tough for you to have. And I think we've all been there at one point or another where it's like it's kind of tough to have a social life because one part of us wants to live and be free, and then the other part feels guilty if we do that, right? So you've overcome that. You've learned about nutrition. I want you to make sure that you are not discounting the progress that you've made, because like you've made some amazing, huge progress. But man, you gotta like, and this goes for everybody. Like you gotta own that next version of yourself that you're gonna be. It's like it's a very scary thing, but it's also very empowering once you do it. And like I've been exactly where you are right now, Mina, where it's like, you know, it's kind of like I don't want to lose too much weight because then I'm not going to be labeled as the buff guy or the big guy, or I don't, you know, the shirts are fitting smaller. Am I losing muscle? Like, but when it's all said and done, like if you know if you're happy here, then that's fine. Like I'm not saying any of this like to tell you like oh, you need to keep pushing. Like if you're happy here, that's totally fine. But based on our conversations, like I know where you want to get to, but you have to like you have to own that. And I spoke about it like last week in a roundtable, but guys, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, like either way, you are 100% right. So like if you think that you can make this transformation and you can look like somebody you never thought you could, or you could finally achieve that dream body that like you've always been envisioning your whole life. If you think you can do that, then you can. If you think that this particular number on the scale is always where I stick and always where I stay, or like I'll never have this dream body just because like my genes, my genetics, this, and I'm not saying like that stuff doesn't play a part in it, right? Like genes, genetics, the way like your body structure is, things like that all that stuff has a big part in like how your body looks, right? But we don't know if we never get there. Like you have to push yourself to get there. Like you're never gonna know what you're capable of if you never allow yourself to get to that point. Like how's your morning routine been?
Good. Actually, my morning routine's fine. It's usually after work. I mean, another part of it is managing stress, but that's a different topic. But usually I'm pretty scheduled and pretty like, on point. Like usually morning, now that I got the treadmill, morning is a half an hour walk before work. I work, and then after work I'll do it's promptly at 5:30 I'll start my workout, and then after I'll do another half an hour walk, and then that's usually my day, and I'll eat dinner and go on with whatever else I'm doing.
I'll never worry about you with like eventually getting in a workout or a cardio. Like I'm never worried. Like I'm never worried about that. When it was, you were like, I'm sick. I was like, okay, that's like I get it. No, like I'm never gonna worry about you with your workouts and cardio, like ever. When I mean your morning routine, sorry.
Yeah.
Have you been doing like the meditation?
No, I haven't. I'll be honest, I haven't.
Yeah. Have you been doing the gratitude?
No, I haven't done that either.
Yeah. So it's like I'm all for like if you want to do first thing in the morning and do the treadmill and whatnot. Like I think that's very relaxing. If you guys are one of those rare breeds and you can work out first thing in the morning, cool. Like that's great. But also when you're doing your morning cardio, like are you thinking about work?
No, I'm actually usually either reading a book on the treadmill or I'm usually watching something on TV. So I don't really it's not that. Yeah.
Perfect. So don't watch TV because like TV could like cloud. There's lots of stuff out there, and hopefully you're like reading something that's helping you get better. But like I was telling Nayra before we started was like you have to give yourself some time in the morning to just like clear your mind. So give yourself some time. It could be 10 minutes of meditation, or it could just be 10 minutes of silence, right? Like just 10 minutes of complete silence, not doing anything, not, oh my gosh, I got to do my cardio today. And it's going to be tough. It's very uncomfortable. Yeah. It's extremely uncomfortable. It's going to feel really weird. I've been doing it pretty consistently for a while now. And I still have times where I'm like, all right, like 3 more minutes, I gotta go do this, I gotta go respond to clients or whatever it is, right? Like but if you don't give yourself that, like that's trickling down into the rest of your day, right? So that's trickling down into the rest of your day, whether it's like I gotta do this for my job, I gotta do this for my job, I gotta do this for my job. And like if you want to do cardio first thing in the morning, cool, but like give yourself those 10 minutes, like 15 minutes, sorry, 10 literally 10 minutes of meditation. Do that. You can do it through an app or through that link that I sent you, or you guys can literally just type it in on YouTube. Just 10 minutes of meditation and like 5 minutes of gratitude. And like, just see how different you go about your day and like how less stressed you are. Because otherwise right now it's just like, it's just one thing after another.
I really underestimated I don't know if anyone else is new and joining, I really underestimated how much impact cortisol has. Like, makes me hungry, it makes me not sleep, it makes me retain weight. And I found that like when I have tried to relax, I haven't done it consistently, like you said, but I have been times where I've just sat down and be like, okay, clear my mind type of thing. I have found out that it has helped actually quite a bit.
Yeah. It's tough, man. It's so tough. Like if I showed you like the notifications on my phone when I wake up, like it'll give you anxiety, man. Like, so if the first thing I'm looking at is like, oh my gosh, I gotta update this plan. Someone's asking about this. You know, oh shoot, I forgot that I forgot to text my friend back, or like, it can be so overwhelming and I'm not saying that the first thing you're doing is looking on your phone, but like all that stuff, those little things are gonna cause you stress and anxiety. It might not feel like it because you're like,
Yeah.
you know, some of us, it's very easy to compartmentalize, like, you know, like, all right, well, this is just work. This is the stress of work. But
Yeah.
But man, you got to give yourself time. You got to give yourself time. And but more importantly, man, like I know that you can. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. So I just got a Mac, and it's like synced. So like when someone calls, it just. Anyways, I'm still completely new to this. But like, so I know that you can do that, right? Like I know 100% that you can commit to those 15 minutes. What I want you to do, like, I want you to take it even a step further with gratitude. I want you to do like, so for you, Mina, this is your homework is like 10 minutes of gratitude, 3 to 5 minutes of like, 10 minutes of meditation, 3 to 5 minutes of gratitude, and like 3 to 5 minutes of writing down like positive affirmations.
Okay.
Like, I'm going to achieve this. This like, and I want you to like detailed as possible. Like, I'm gonna be at this whatever 142.7. Like, I want you to, whatever the weight is, like you want to be at,
Sure.
I want you to as detailed as possible. This is exactly how I'm gonna look. This is what I do. This is how I go about my day. You know, I want like just as detailed as possible in order to do that, and then like slowly you start believing.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I agree with that.
But yeah, man, if you don't, you have to know that you're gonna get there. If you don't know or think you're gonna get there, you will never get there.
Okay.
Like, guys, think like I'm not here to toot my own horn, but like, this is an online training thing. 5 years ago, like, this was nothing. 5 years ago, like, it was around, but like online training, like, what the hell's online training? I don't need a personal trainer. I need an in-person trainer. Like, you just have to fully commit and fully believe in what you're doing, and that you're on the right path. And like, I promise you are. I promise you, I'm not sabotaging your macros or calories or anything like this man. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna keep them on for a few more months. Like, no, man, like, your success is my success, you know?
Yeah.
So I want this for you just as bad. But I also know that it's not just gonna happen. Like, you fully have to know and commit, because otherwise you'll always find a reason to sabotage. Say like, oh, it's my cortisol. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's you know, and I'm not saying cortisol doesn't have something to do with it, but like, man, it's that's not it. You're just not all in yet.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah. And I know once you're all in, bro, like, it's gonna be scary. Like, so I need you to commit. So for these next 7 days, that's what's gonna be your homework.
All right, cool. Got it.
All right, guys. We got a few more minutes. You guys want to share anything before we or ask anything before we log off? No? Cool. All right, guys. So I think that's what's going to be the first. We're going to probably be doing that the first of every month, first roundtable of every month now. We're just going to go over like biggest wins, not biggest obstacle, but like, what are you currently struggling with? And we're going to coach each and every one of you and set you up for success for these next minimum 7 days, right? And it's going to trigger along. So cool, guys. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for making it for this whole time. And I'm gonna get this. I think I have this bad boy recorded, so I'll be sending this out to each and every one of you. All right, guys. Bye. Great work. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys all later.